I've come to think of our culture and our lives as consisting of people who are signposts along the zeitgeist of our existence. Two of those people passed away today. Don Cornelius committed suicide at the age of 75, and Angelo Dundee passed away at the age of 90. Now, some of you may be saying, who are they? But for me, Don Cornelius took up a great deal of my Saturday mornings when I was growing up because on Saturday at 12 noon, you had a choice of either watching in Chicago American Bandstand hosted by Dick Clark or Don Cornelius or Soul Train hosted by Don Cornelius. You could either go Bandstand or you can bet your last money it's all going to be a Stole Gas Honey with Don Cornelius. And for me, both were part of my growing up because you learned how to dance watching both. You knew about American culture, what people were listening to, and it was a fun time to be a kid, you know. Unfortunately, Dick Clark lasted and kept his face out there, and I don't really know what happened to Don Cornelius, other than it seemed like as BET increased, his star decreased, and maybe that says something about how African Americans don't work together and how we don't celebrate our folks as well as we should. You know, BET should have had a place for Don Cornelius somewhere. Maybe they tried. I don't know. I don't know what happened with Don Cornelius or what led him to commit suicide, to take his life. I know that he had issues with his wife and abuse. I don't know. Sad loss, and I'm always going to remember the man with the big fro and the big smile. Now, my mom did meet him over at United Airlines. She straightened out his reservation, and unfortunately, I think he wasn't so nice to my mom, and hopefully that wasn't the case. There are a lot of people who say that Cornelius was disappointed that you didn't recognize him. Arrogant. That's sad. That's too bad. But they also say he was a brilliant man, a brilliant showman, and a person who really, really brought a lot of African American groups into the limelight that without Soul Train and his blessing would not have achieved their lofty status. And one of those was the Jacksons, that over their history, the Jacksons and Michael Jackson, the Jackson Five. So, but then there is also another man who was equally well known, Angelo Dundee, as the trainer for Muhammad Ali, the greatest fighter who ever lived. And Angelo Dundee was known as the man who let Muhammad Ali be who he became. And Angelo was the man who was behind Muhammad Ali even during his days when he was fighting both the United States and those people in politics who opposed his efforts to fight and speak out against the war and speak out against oppression. That was Muhammad Ali, and that is why I like boxing. And so Angelo Dundee is part of that world that Muhammad Ali created. Sad loss. But 90 years is a long time to live. He lived it well. He not only trained Muhammad Ali, but Sugar Ray Leonard and many other greats. And by all accounts, died a happy man. I didn't really check into that, but it seems that he did. At any rate, a sad day, and also the first day of Black History Month, that Black history loses one of its entertainment pioneers, Don Cornelius. Don Cornelius, Angelo Dundee. Rest in peace.